It is Friday, like lunchtime. My head's gonna be cut off because this is just the angle that we're at. So it is lunchtime, and this is gonna be the start of a reading vlog. And it's gonna be a weekend reading vlog. I just got home from picking up some lunch, and I grabbed sushi, which for my friends, they're probably like, you got sushi? I typically don't eat sushi. I'm not into the raw fish aspect, but this, none of it's raw. It is, it's like a specialty roll from this new sushi place called Oshio Station that is in Columbus, Ohio. And this is called OTC, which is on the Common, which is, the Commons is like a park that's behind it. There's a big stage. I don't really know what happens there other than one year there was a food truck festival. Because I moved to Columbus during the pandemic, I don't really know what some of these like outdoor spaces do because they've been shut down the whole time I've been here. So anyway, I was just kind of oddly craving wanting to try it. So that's what I went and did today during lunch. It is fantastic outside, let me just say. And I figured I would just kind of start this vlog with this. So the books that I'm currently in the middle of reading, I have Colson Whitehead Zone 1, which I'm about like a little less than halfway. This is even though it's a short book, it's a dense book. This is taking me a lot of time. I haven't been reading it a lot, but like it is taking a lot of time because there are almost no chapter breaks. There's only 3 chapters in this whole book. Actually, so this is where I'm at, and then this is the end of the chapter. So this is taking me a while. I would like to finish this. It is quite interesting. I will say it is so far my least favorite Colson Whitehead book that I have read, which I think I've only read 1, so that's not saying much. But anyway, this is like a zombie apocalypse book with but it's like, that's not the focus of it. Like, it is the focus, but it's really more of an internal monologue on, like, a reflection on society and what happens when society goes to shit, basically. It's quite interesting. Then I am still in Dragonfly and Amber. I'll be honest, I'm bored. I'm bored with this book. So same kind of deal. This is when the next major part is. So I don't know, like, I would love to finish this weekend. It's a lot of reading to do. So this is the book 2 in the Outlander series, and at the beginning we were in England, or were we in France? See, I don't even flippin' remember because it's boring. But they're back in Lallybroch, which is Jamie Fraser's castle thing. So that's where we're at. Yeah, I'm just like kind of bored with this. And then I barely started Queen of Nothing because I just really I'm gonna finish this book. This book I will finish this weekend if I don't read the other 2. Like, this one will be finished. This is book 3 in the, what is this series actually called? Is it like the Folk of the Air? Yeah, the Folk of the Air series, Cruel Prince, book 3. So I'm very much looking forward to finishing this book, or just finishing the series. And then I kind of thought, you know, this book you're kind of bored with. This one you'll definitely finish if you read it. This one is just taking a long time. What if you feel like starting a new one? So Six of Crows is the 4th book option. To be honest, I will probably pick this up if I finish Queen of Nothing during this weekend. Now, I'm a pretty fast reader, but this weekend, namely today, is the start of the Challenge Cup for the NWSL, which is the women soccer league, so it's the National Women's Soccer League. And there are 10 teams this year instead of 8 because we had a double expansion. That means there are a lot of games. There are a lot of games. So there are 2 tonight. I think there are 3 tomorrow. So I'll be watching a lot of soccer. So I'm not going to get as much reading done as I want to, but I'm thinking that's what I'm going to be doing. So, and I don't have too many plans this weekend other than soccer. I have a house to look at, and then I do have a dry try, which is like a modified dry triathlon, which that's gonna be fun. But the last 2 years of the pandemic, I have majorly struggled with working out, and I thrive on like group workouts, and so I joined Orange Theory, and I love it. Like, I love it. I love it so much. So, yeah, that's what the weekend has in store. I hope you like the video. The weekend is here, and I just finished work, or, well, work is never finished. I turned my computer off. That's a better way to phrase that. And I am going to go ahead and start reading. So I'm going to pick up the 2 books that I'm like least excited to read, which that makes it sound bad, but basically they're the ones that I'm not going to read through very quickly. And the reason why is because I am near chapters in both of them, and so I would like to get to those chapters and then maybe read a bit of Queen of Nothing. I'm currently listening to Studio Ghibli music. I was listening specifically to the Howl's Moving Castle soundtrack, and then it kind of just like plays random stuff. So I'm probably just gonna let that keep going, and I'll check in. So it is a smidge after 5 o'clock, and I am just noticing that I need to water a plant, so I'm actually gonna do that. Look at this guy. Poor little dude. Need to water it. Okay, gonna do that. Chaos. Yeah, so that's the plan, and then I'll check in soon because I don't think it'll take me very long to read those chapters. It is half an hour until soccer officially starts, and I have managed to read about 50 pages in both of these like, combined. I read a bit further than I'd planned to, but I think I've finally gotten to the revealing, I don't know, we've been introduced to a character from our main character's past that I think is meaningful in this zombie book. And then this book, I read like barely any pages, and almost all of it was about babies. And so I'm just not into it. Just not into it. So that's disappointing. I'm hoping it gets better because we're like heading off to war, so that should be better. But I'm going to do a little bit of a tidy in the living room, and I don't know if I'm gonna start food. I might because of the game. And then I don't know if how much reading I'm gonna get done the rest of the day since there are back-to-back soccer games. So we'll see. I just came to a part in Zone 1, which I think you will find funny. At least I did. So this book was written in 2011. And I just got to a part where the main character is talking about doing inventory and making sure that the camps are getting the allotted amount of whatever it is that they're getting. And there's a part in here, so it says, was Happy Acres, one of the camps, receiving its fair share of recovered antiseptic or not? A proper allocation of that newly discovered cache of floss, and more important, was Morning Glory, another camp, hoarding toilet paper with malicious intent, or were they merely embroiled in a camp-wide gastrointestinal misadventure? I mean, how could we... Everyone should have read this book and known that there would be a bizarre toilet paper shortage in 2020 because of people hoarding toilet paper for some reason. So I just thought that was very funny. I am currently on my way to go look at a house, and then after looking at the house I'm gonna go to the library, and I'll probably like sit and read at the library because I love the library and it's nice to go somewhere and read. Rainy day. Just got done looking at the house. I like the layout, like a lot. I do like the layout. It's got 4 bedrooms. Then there's like a downstairs bonus room that is about the same size as the upstairs living room. The bedrooms are all pretty good size. There's 2 that are like master bedrooms, but the entire kitchen needs redone. All of the baseboards need redone. All the walls need painted. And then on top of it, the walls have this like texture to them, which is awful. I honestly don't know how you would remove that. The basement, it's tiled. The tile has cracks, and then they did like a reno down there, and so then they just kind of like cut the tile, and so you like see the basement floor. So that would need redone. It's just a lot of like cosmetics, which is fine. The issue is that it's $230,000, which means it's gonna probably go for 50 more. So, boo. It's raining, so, which is kind of like gross, but also really good to see a house when it's raining, as I am learning, because you can see how bad the yard is, or not bad. And the yard here is honestly pretty fine. It's fenced in. The neighbors behind them, their yard is atrocious, but the neighbors on either side are pretty fine. So I don't know. I feel like I'm almost talking myself into it. I'm gonna have to look and see how to remove textured walls, and if that's a thing. I don't know. Maybe I'll call my dad. My parents are currently in Germany, so yeah, they'd be awake. Of course they'd be awake. It's like 4 o'clock there. So, okay. Now I'm gonna go to the library. am back home. I went and saw the house. I went to the library and read a bit, and then I went for lunch and I read at lunch. And so I am now at 135 pages, which is, to me, almost nothing. But again, this book has almost no page breaks. It is a dense book. Like, if you were to put normal page breaks, chapters, and things like that to this book would probably be 400 pages. So it's just taking me a while to get through, but I think this is what I'm gonna spend my time on today, is reading this one, and we'll see. So right now, it's hard to explain what happens because, again, you're in this character's head, and it's honestly pretty confusing with where you are because he jumps back and forth between times, and it's really hard to tell, is he telling you something that's happening right now? Is he telling you something that happened a day ago? Is he telling you something that happened a year ago? Like, it's really hard to tell. And I think that is, like, that makes sense because, at least for me, ever since March 2020, I feel like it's just been 1 year. Like a year, or like an era, but an era is a specific amount of time too. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like last week was the beginning of the pandemic, but then I also feel like last week was 3 years ago, and like, time is a confusing thing, and I think that is portrayed in this book in the fact that it's just pretty complicated. You're introduced to characters without really like an introduction. It's just all of a sudden this character's there, and then like you aren't necessarily told where they go, what happens to them, nothing. And I think our main character doesn't want to dwell on that. He has said multiple times that he doesn't think about what will happen when this pandemic, when this zombie infestation is done, when it's solved. He only thinks about the here and now, the next 5 minutes, and that's how you survive. And it's interesting. I've already said this is definitely not my favorite Colson Whitehead book. When I went to the library, I grabbed another one, and I was actually looking through, and his older books are written like this. His newer books are not so much. So yeah, I would love to get this finished today before soccer starts, which is at 7 or 7:30. So I've got a few hours to go. Zone 1 finished. The ending got really good and depressing. So this book takes place over like a weekend, sort of. But there's a lot of flashbacks, so it doesn't feel like it's only 3 days. And there are a lot of characters, but also there's not a lot of characters because they're only there for a short amount of time. And I don't know, the ending was kind of not what I was expecting. So I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars because it just took me forever to read that, and anytime a book takes me a really long time to read, I feel like it doesn't warrant a 4-star or 5-star. So 3 stars, but I'm enjoying my self-proclaimed challenge of reading all of Colson Whitehead's books in 2022. I want to read all of his books and Silvia Moreno Garcia's books. So I'm thinking I'm gonna switch to The Queen of Nothing instead of continuing with Outlander Book 2. And I think I'm gonna go through that a lot faster. And just like I predicted, I am already 50 pages into this book, and it's been less than an hour since my last check-in. So soccer's gonna start here in half an hour, so I'll probably be done. I don't think I'll finish this tonight, but definitely tomorrow. So Queen of Nothing is the third in the Heir of the Folk of the Air series by Holly Black, and obviously it's a third one, so I can't I guess I can tell a little bit. So things have happened in the first one and in the second one, and in the third one we're actually in the mortal world, so our world, with Vivi and Jude and Oak and Heather. So I'm on chapter 6, and Jude, who is our main character, is about to go back to Fairy World pretending to be Taran, her twin sister. And I'm sure she's probably going to be found out. So that's where we're at. And I'm back in the world and I love it. Good morning. It is Sunday, the last day of this reading vlog, and I have read a total of 260 pages, which is not a lot for how much I would normally like to read, but I've said multiple times that Zone 1 book was a dense, like, lots of words per pages, and so I'm about 60 pages through this, and I need to go to Orange Theory in less than 2 hours, so we'll see how far I get through. I have a feeling that I'm gonna definitely make it past the halfway mark before I need to go to Orange Theory. I'm basically ready to go. I'm already in my gym clothes. I just need to put my hair up and put my heart monitor band on and shoes, and then I can run out the door. So my heat starts at 12:15, so basically I need to leave here. Probably better to be there a little bit early, unlike what I normally do. So I need to leave here at noon, essentially. So I'll check in a bit later, but I already gave the recap of where I was at last time, so we're good. Isn't the cover just gorgeous? It's the original. I wanted to get the Barnes & Noble editions, but people are selling those for like over $100, which is just crazy to me. So if you see one that is a normal price, I'm looking for Barnes & Noble editions of Queen of Air and the second one, the one that has King in the title. Wicked King, that one. As predicted, I am more than halfway finished. There you go. With the book that I'm reading. And I am loving it. I'm loving it so much. It's interesting, something that I've noticed is when our main character Jude like recalls or thinks about a person that hasn't been on page in a while, literally that person shows up like a page or two later. Like she'll think about, oh, this person taught me this skill, and then boom, they appear on the page. And I've noticed it a lot with this book. Like it's happened 3 times so far. And I need to go to the gym now and die. So see you later. I don't know how good the audio is gonna be, and my hand's probably really shaky, but I did it. I got a piece of paper that says I did it. Oh my God, I'm so tired. I've never run a 5K after rowing and then doing a whole floor routine. So my body is exhausted. Time to go get some food and read. So these are some units that are for sale in Columbus downtown. And you can see they're pretty small. These are going for over $2,000 a month. Yep. Now that I've rested in my car a little bit, I I still feel very exhausted. More exhausted than I feel when I run just like a normal 5K. Like, that was a lot of work. It's only 50 degrees, so it's not really like fabulous to sit outside and read. Like, it'd probably be okay right now because I'm still pretty warm, but in like 10 minutes I'll be cold again, so I don't know. I've also eaten I've eaten out a lot this week, which isn't good for my budget. So, I don't know. But I know I want to keep reading. I really want to finish the book. I mean, I'm more than halfway done, so I think I really only have like two more hours to go, and then I'll finish it. So I guess it's time to go home. I have finally finished the Heir of the Folk, Folk of the Air trilogy, and The Queen of Nothing. I really liked it. My favorite booktuber, she did not quite like the ending. So I was a little bit, I don't know, I was wondering where I was gonna sit, and I actually did like the ending. I felt like all Jude ever really wanted was to belong, for people to like her, but also like to respect her. And all Cardan ever wanted was for people to love him. And I feel like the ending was both of them getting that wish. Yeah, for such an epic battle, like barely anyone dies, but you know what? That's okay. It's a YA book. Not everyone has to die. So it is 5 o'clock. All I've had today is like a granola bar. So I've been craving eggs, so I'm gonna make some eggs. And then I'm probably going to just clean the kitchen a little bit, which I do have an audiobook. I didn't even talk about that at the beginning of this vlog. I have the Malibu Rising audiobook currently, and I'm 25% done. So I could listen to that, but my arm's getting tired. I kind of don't really feel like it. I kind of feel like listening to some podcasts instead. So I will. I'm going to take a bit of a break from reading. I know I have so much laundry I need to fold. So I need to do that. I want to eat some food. And I mean, soccer starts in a couple more hours, so then I'll be watching soccer. I'm not sure how much more reading I'm going to get done. I am going to go ahead and just start Six of Crows. So Six of Crows is in the Grishaverse. It's a duology, and the characters, if you have seen Shadow Bones, the Netflix series, the characters from that show are also in this book. It's like a band of these people who are, so it's a convict, a sharpshooter, a runaway, a spy, a heartrender, and a thief. And this crew is given a task to probably steal something, I would imagine. So guys, if you've been part of my channel, then you'll know I've been talking about reading this book probably for a whole year, and it's finally here, and I'll be able to watch Shadow and Bone, which is probably what I'm like the most excited about, although I am pretty excited about reading this book. It is bedtime. I'm going to read. I'm not sure if I'm going to read this book or if I'm going to read Dragonfly and Amber. I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of feeling I should read this since I, finished another book that I hadn't really started yet. So either way, so far, that was, I think I've read about 500 pages this weekend, which I think is pretty good since I watched 5 soccer games and did a 1-hour workout. So I feel like that's pretty successful. So I'm gonna end the night with a mask because I have a headache. I feel very kind of overheated. So I actually have the aircon on in my apartment. I don't know, my bedroom just gets so much warmer because there's only one door, so there's no airflow unless I have the barn door open, which I just don't feel like it. It's my bedroom. I don't want my barn door open. It really, having the barn door open really does affect how loud the bedroom is from the outside. So I need the AC on. But even then, there's no vent here. So it's a struggle. But yeah, so I'm gonna put on a sheet mask because they're cold. And then I'm gonna read a bit, but I'm probably gonna fall asleep pretty quickly. I am just feeling very tired today. So I will do a wrap up in the morning with the total amount of pages that I've read. It's probably not gonna be much more than 500, but we'll see. Good morning! It is Monday and it is the end of the reading vlog. So I'll just do a real quick recap of the books that I read. So I finished Zone 1 by Colson Whitehead, which was a zombie pandemic book, but really it was more just a reflection on society and how quickly things could go to shit. And it's, it's a loud Monday morning here in Columbus. So that was 210 pages that I read. Then I started and finished The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black, which was the 3rd book in the Folk of the Air trilogy. And I loved it, giving it 5 stars. Zone 1 I'm giving 3 stars. And that one ended up being 300 pages, so 510. And then I read a bit of Dragonfly and Amber, which ended up being 20 pages. And then I started 6 of Crows, and I got through 20 pages as well. So that's 550 pages in a weekend where I, again, watched 5 soccer games. So that is like, a soccer game is 90 minutes plus extra time, plus the halftime. So, I mean, with a lot of time that I spent not reading. And of course I did that dry triathlon thing, which was, again, not spent reading. So I don't know, I feel like that was pretty good. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, letting me know if you like stuff like this. If you don't, that's cool. I'll take that in consideration. I am going to start working. Thanks, guys. Bye.